people. As much as y'all love Disney, I love Disney too. As much as we love Disney, Disney ain't for us folks, y'all. I'm just telling y'all.
But
Disney.
but this whole conversation is making me think a lot about something. I took a screenwriting class once, and the teacher at one point, he said, the difference between high art and low art is that low art affirms, and high art kind of opens you up to a new idea. You know what I mean? And I think the people that are saying, "Oh my God, it's not going to be the way," they just want their values of, like he said. They just want their values affirmed. Where those, we kind of more artsy types. We want you to do something. We want something new.
Yes.
We want some exploration, and I think that's so. It's kind of expecting Disney, given the market that they're appealing to. The example he gave. It's like if you go to a gospel. If you go to the church puts on a gospel play. It's about what everybody agrees on. You can't have a version where you find out that Jesus is a heroin addict,
right?
You know what I mean? Like that he had a prostitute, or he was bisexual, like you know what I mean? Where you can have where something more alternative would people would be totally open to.
Absolutely.
And see where you go with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where
because I look at it like this, and I break it down like Disney's out here, and the reason why I said they ain't for us is because I'm gonna break it down this way. If you look at all of the if you look at the black representation in Disney, we're animals, right?
Yes.
So you look at Marvel,
Right.
Black Panther, right?
Yeah.
That's black.
Right.
You look at The Lion King, cats, black. Okay. And then as someone brought up to my attention, which I knew as well and I forgot to mention, look at the only black princess in Disney, Tiana.
Tiana.
She was a frog for 85% of the film.
Right.
She is a frog. She is
little
only
green
a
frog.
black girl in the beginning of the film, and then at the
end.
very end when she becomes a princess.
Yeah.
There is no demonstration of Tiana struggling, doing anything. There is no real representation of a black girl seeing a black princess on the screen for a lengthy period of time.
Yeah.
So let's be serious. And then also think about the fact that like Disney has yet to even produce something with a Latin or a Latinx princess. They were supposed to do Sophia the First, and when Sophia the First came out, they were like, "Oh, she's not
Coco?
Latin."
But I haven't seen.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Coco's not even a princess.
She's not a princess.
Coco,
right.
yeah, Coco's an old granny who has like Alzheimer's sitting in a rocking
I've
chair.
never seen it. And there was another one
but
that
Coco
was
was
very
super
Mexican-y.
emotional.
Is that the Coco one?
Which one? That's
that
Coco.
was Coco
In Mexico, yeah.
In Mexico. And
Yes.
Moana is
Moana is like Pacific
Islander,
Islander, Polynesian.
But she was kind of a princess.
Yes.
She was a princess.
But the thing is, with Moana, she makes a point of saying she's not a princess.
Yeah, she does.
She's like, I'm not a
she's
princess.
like-
I'm a chieftain's daughter, and I'm a
That's
chiefess.
true,
I'm
and
a
I always
chiefess, and
like
I'm a
that though.
chieftain. I'm a
But you're right.
chieftain.
There isn't anything distinctly Hispanic. I'm saying Hispanic because
Latin.
Yeah, Latin is
Latin.
Yeah, right.
I know, but I don't want to say like Latinx.
Yeah. I've been trying my best to say Latinx because,
Latinx. Anyway,
Latinx.
but there isn't any.
But there isn't, right? Because that's what I'm
There
saying.
isn't,
Sophia
yeah.
the First was a TV show that they made, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna give people their first like Spanish princess." But then when Sophia came out, they were like, "Oh, wait, she's not really Latin. Like she's like Spanish. She's not like Hispanic."
Yeah, she's
Then they came
Spanish.
out with
Yeah.
Eleanor of Avalor,
Is that
and she
in the Hunchback?
No, Eleanor of Avalor is a TV show on Disney. She's a princess, but she has like a flamenco kind of like look to her.
So it's
Spain.
still Spanish.
But
yeah.
it's still more
European.
Spanish than anything else.
Right.
So
and
again,
they think that's Latin.
exactly.
Yeah.
So again, like you still have
Well, it's like using Javier Bardem as a person of color.
a person
And he's ultimately European.
precisely my
Yes,
point, right?
Teach it.
Whereas the only queen of color, and I will keep singing her praises, voiced by Cree Summer.
Yes.
The only queen of color Disney has is Kida of Atlantis, the Lost Empire.
Oh my God,
and
that's
she
right.
is not to be seen.
Yeah.
They will not mention her
Yeah.
because that movie did not gross enough
didn't make a lot of money.
to have her as a Disney princess. The only other princess is Mulan, and Mulan
Right.
is not a princess. Mulan is a soldier.
Right.
She's a farmer.
soldier.
Like she's a
cross-dressing soldier.
She's a cross-dressing soldier.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
have you seen the trailer for that?
No, I haven't.
Okay,
I would not.
they're
Are
going
they gonna
very.
play up her two men falling in love?
No,
They're not gonna
they
play that
got
up.
rid of the soldier. So they got rid of Li Shang. They got rid of the
The Disney movie Mulan.
They got rid of the villain. I forgot his name right now. I'm spacing on his name right now.
Yeah, oh my God, the Hun.
The Hun.
The Hun.
Yes, they're getting rid of him. They've gotten rid of Li Shang. Instead, they're doing something with Jet Li's going to be it, and Gong Li. She's going to be like some kind of.
Gong Li.
I love Gong Li.
Yeah,
Yes.
Gong Li is like. Oh my
she's
God.
going to be like some kind of sorceress.
Yeah.
So they're going this route. If you see in the trailer for Mulan, it's really nice. It seems very much like they want to play up on the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, like typical Chinese like martial arts film, which would be really, really nice.
That would be interesting.
My thing, of course, I always got a thing. My thing with it is I want them to either go hard or go home. Like either give me full on like
male on male, like they're about to go at
martial arts, like straight sword fighting. Like give me all of that, or don't give me any. Like don't give me any like pseudo
I see what
whatever.
You mean. Yes, I see what you mean.
But the way that they are the direction that they're going with Mulan, you kind of get an idea that they're making it more of like she is this woman who she's like a self-taught warrior going into war versus like this clumsy like I don't know who I am kind of person going into war and then like finding herself. Exactly. They're making it out like she's a female warrior already. Like she already knows how to fight. She knows how to do this. She's just going in her father's place, and that's
what the movie was. She was going in her brother's place. No,
she was going in her father's place in the movie,
right? Because in the film, like it takes place in old school China, and so basically, long story short, she goes in her father's, so she has to look
Shan Yu. That's the villain's name.
Yeah, and
Shan Yu. That's the name of the villain.
That's the name. Yeah, Shan Yu. Yes. And so the leader of these men, they kind of started getting to each other.
You could see there was
something
looks,
there, and then he found out that she's a woman. Yeah,
some looks between them, and I think that was one of the things, or that is speculated. That's one of the reasons why they removed Li Shang, because they didn't want to touch on the bisexuality aspect of it.
Right.
Because you could tell in the cartoon,
he was falling for her.
He was falling for her when she was Ping. Like he didn't know she was a woman.
He didn't know.
So you could see that he was like impressed that Ping's getting up there. He's getting the moves. He's learning how to fight. He's learning how to do this. And then when he learns that she's a girl, like, that she's a she, he kind of like banishes her, even though she saved his life. He was like, a life for life. I'm not going to kill you. Go about your way. Right. But at the end of the movie, he comes back and he's like, yeah, I'm still attracted to you, which means that in order for you to, you were always attracted.
Exactly. Yes.
Right. Always attracted. Right. So I think it's rumored that they wanted to kind of like remove that aspect. And so they got rid of him.
And that's not so taboo in those cultures.
Yeah, so it's like they kind of removed it and kind of want to make it more Mulan focused and not about like a love story, but more about Mulan, which I'm all for that, but I'm also like, please give me like some hero, give me some Crouching Tiger. Like I want to see her flying through the air and like doing swordplay. Like as stupid as that sounds, like I really want to see a lot of that
if it's done right.
Because it is based on like an Asian folklore, and I feel like if you're gonna try and use some of the folklore, go a little bit more towards the folklore, then give me more Asian aesthetic. Give me more of that realness that I would get like if I were to go see an Asian produced film, because they're getting rid of what's his face too, Mushu.
Oh really?
Yeah, they're getting rid of the dragon, and they're giving her like
Eddie
a phoenix.
Murphy did his voice.
They're giving her like a phoenix.
Eddie
or something
Murphy does
now.
great sidekick voices.
He does.
Like Mushu in that movie, and then of the donkey.
Yes, and Shrek.
He said that he told David Letterman that he's going to come. Was it David Letterman or Seinfeld that he wants to do stand up again? He's getting ready to do stand up again.
Oh, I'd go see a show, Eddie Murphy show.
He should. I mean, they are doing like a Coming to America too. So
yeah, I heard. That's another topic.
That is another topic. But that was kind of like my Disney roundup. And again, me coming in my fields as an adult, looking at it, with more critical lenses. Because again, as a child, I'm watching this, I'm taking it in, I'm ingesting it. As an adult, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at how I feel like a lot of the choices that the casting choices and the plot choices. I'm a little bit more critical of it now, and I'm a little bit more aware of like the strategic placing of how they're doing things versus before just consuming it. Yeah. So that's me getting my adulting on Disney.
No, and also you got to remember that these movies are made for an adult to take a child.
Exactly.
So they have the audience that they have to appeal to is humongous.
It's humongous. They have to give the adult something and give the kid something.
Right. So the adult will say, "Let's go," because Beyonce's in it. And then, you got to have a storyline that entertains the parents while they're sitting in the theater.
Right.
but yet you can't put the parent in a situation where it's like, wait, Dad, did he like her as a boy and a girl? Like that's weird.
To try to figure that out.
And it's like you're gonna ruin the parents,
Yes.
experience. Like I didn't want to deal with this. I was just taking the kids to the movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think all of that stuff has to be factored in. It's not like some little niche kind of.
Right. It isn't. A lot of that does have to be taken into account. The only thing I am
and they want to make lots of money.
Right.
And it's gonna make lots of money. The only thing I am kind of excited to see is Maleficent 2 because Angelina Jolie is coming back.
She's coming back.
And it looks like there's like more there's more fairies like Maleficent in the trailer.
Okay.
You should watch the trailer. And Michelle Pfeiffer's in it too. Exactly.
Wait.
Yes.
Wait a minute. You're gonna give me Angelina Jolie and
Michelle Pfeiffer. And they're facing off at each other too. Because like Sleeping Beauty.
Contain thyself.
So, quick recap of the trailer. Aurora gets proposed to. Prince Philip proposes to her. She goes to Maleficent and she's like, oh, I'm gonna get married. And Maleficent's like, no, you're not. And she's like, I'm not asking. And Maleficent was like, well, I wasn't asking you either. Like, you're not getting married. Like, you're gonna ruin your life. No.
Right.
And so, Maleficent, Aurora kind of like takes Maleficent to like the prince's mother to meet her. And there's like a square off between the two because Maleficent's kind of like Aurora's mother and then the prince's mother.
Right.
So it's like the two mothers just can't get along.
Right.
Maleficent doesn't trust her. And of course, Aurora's like, well, this is my intended mother. So you have to treat her nice. And Maleficent's like, fuck this. Like, if I'm telling you I don't like her, I don't like her.
Right.
And
but
so
is Michelle Pfeiffer like a witch or a sorceress or something?
It says that she's going to be some kind of like evil. She might be like a villain.
Right.
But it also shows you how basically Maleficent's descent into evil because she has to go dark to kind of like battle this one.
That's
so
right. And the story is about Maleficent.
It's about Maleficent.
That evil person. Yeah.
Hence why the title of this one is Mistress of Evil. And so she's, embracing more of her evilness. Right. Because she wants to show Aurora, like, this is how bad it can get. And at the end of the trailer, like, you see something happens to her, and then she wakes up, and somebody's talking to her, and he's like, you spent a lot of your time caring for humans. It's time that you care for your own. And then they pan out, and you see, like, a whole bunch of, like, horned fairies that look just like her. Mm-hmm. And it's, like, led by this big black guy with, like, huge dreads.
Oh,
like,
yes.
I was like,
God.
oh, my God, I want to see this.
Yes.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm good.
And that's why I like this because this is a nice retelling of Maleficent. I would take a movie about Ursula's beginnings over The Little Mermaid, even though they're doing that Cruella movie, and I don't want to see that because it's Emma Stone. But as much as I like Emma Stone, like I don't care for that. But like something like a Ursula movie or like a Scar movie about like what he was doing in the Badlands and the Outlands, like like I would take that more than just these, Because I always feel like with these live actions, and just to like wrap it all up, is that as beautiful as they are and as much money as they make, there is no profound or any lasting feeling about them. Because look at we had Beauty and the Beast. No one is talking about like how acclaimed it was like when the initial cartoon came out. Like no one is having that same kind of reaction to these live actions. They're being pumped out. They're making a lot of money and everyone's forgetting them. Yeah. Dumbo came out and no one's talking about Dumbo whatsoever. You know what I mean? Beauty and the Beast came out. No one's still talking about that. Mm-hmm. What was another one that came out? I mean, the only big one was probably Cinderella because it was the first of that line, and then Maleficent. Mm-hmm. But other than that, everything is kind of just like, well, the Jungle Book came out. No one. And people are talking about like, oh, the Lion King is like the most beautiful live action CGI of animals. And I'm like, but the Jungle Book did the exact same thing. And they had, no, I don't think so. Okay. Mm-hmm. And they had an actual live Indian kid who acted by himself the entire time on a green screen. Wow. No one is remembering that whatsoever. But we're talking about the Lion King and Beyonce. So that's my moment.
Maybe if Michael Jackson had played it when he was a kid. You know what I mean? It's all his name dropping. It's all his name, drawing by with the name. Mm-hmm.
Only live action I want to see is Gargoyles. That's it.
And that's gonna happen.
And we already know.
Who knows when that's gonna happen?
Never.
If ever.
Because Disney don't own the rights to Gargoyles. That's why. But yes, so thank you guys for walking down that little, Disney live action road with me.
Yeah, this was fun.
And seeing it through my adult eyes. But we're going to wrap this episode up. And I would like to thank Mr. Vincent Bernard yet again. Please be sure to drop your socials for the world, Vincent.
Okay, let me see if I still got this. Let's see.
Let's see.
Vincent Bernard on Facebook, Vince_Bernard